Since we met you people 500 years ago, look at us. We've given everything. You are still taking. It's true. I mean, where will the whole Western world be without Africa? Our cocoa, our timber, our gold, our diamonds, our platinum, our whatever. Everything you are is us. I am not saying it, it's a fact. And in return for all of this, what have we got? Nothing. Anti-personnel indoctrination against ourselves. If you go and cook your horrible diseases like AIDS, you say it is us.
At your voyage, I check, we will be around by G. Gaga. So, and then you can see. My chat me, I'm somewhere expecting more from Jade Gaga. But if you ask me, I saw about a church, no oil, and as I'm now, you can perceive concentrating on Africa. Our own mother Africa continent. We are blessed and rich with all the resources, but yes, still, never Africa. Problem if you want our leaders and I say and go for me and a day So what do you think has made Africa a better place to live? What do you think has made Africa like this? And what do you think has made Africa a poorest continent on this planet? So and then me person me no me re twetwe nkomo na ye nkoma twetwe ne ye lawyer penny, one of the finest lawyer ye one Africa of Kenya, I feel Patrick Lok Otieno Lumumba, Patrick Lok Otieno Lumumba of Kenya. Then some baby original CPSO and now in a platform na papa yi kasa, he always keep on mentioning Africa. So and then some enumbia wakan no and am pese menumia ni yetie ni ye analysis edifa ho na yehwe. Is it our leaders? Is the fault from our leaders or we the citizens? Yena yenye yeniema yi yegotie no ne emra timi ba memra no minsa bia na wo bia na no wadwe no ho. So who say comment na say no or like no na me who comment aha AG Gaga TV me
5. Ali Mazrui says passionately and eloquently at once that Africa is the only continent on earth that consumes that which it does not produce and produces that which it does not consume. And he says curiously, we are the only continent on earth that is still referred to in the following derogatory terms: Anglophone Africa, Francophone Africa, Lusophone Africa, and those who are generous even refer to some part of Africa as Arabophone Africa. He says they do not say that of Latin America, they do not say that of Asia. And if you doubt Ali Mazrui, there is now a war that is going on in the Cameroons and is characterized as a war between the Francophones and the Anglophones. But if you go to the so-called Anglophone area, no more than 5% can speak eloquent French. Yet there are many ethnicities in that part of the world. And I'm submitting to us that this is important because it demonstrates that there is something in our minds that we have yet to liberate ourselves. We have yet to decolonize our mind, which Ngugi wa Thiong'o says is the prerequisite to our total liberation so that we can engage with the world meaningfully.
4.
When God is upstairs and is looking down upon his earth and is looking at his children, he must hold his chin and said,
these children that I put in Africa, what happened? You foolish African, who has bewitched you? Who has bewitched us that we have no faith in ourselves? Who has bewitched us that when we have our wives who are expectant, we send them to the United States in order to deliver boys and girls who will become the citizens of the United States? Who has bewitched us that we are humiliating ourselves at the embassy of the United States of America so that we can have a 5-year visa? Who has bewitched us that we are applying every year to win a lottery for the green card, and when we win it, we have parties? Who has bewitched us? These are painful questions, particularly for the younger generation. Who has bewitched us that our young men and women are risking limb and life, crossing the desert from Nigeria, Niger, and Chad, and Mauritania, and Mali, and dying in the Mediterranean Sea on the belief that when they land in Italy, their lives will never be the same, and the best they do there is to flip hamburgers? Who has bewitched us? Who has bewitched us that it is the European leaders who are meeting in Germany to determine how can we do, and what can we do for these Africans? And yet we have leaders who, if you do not address them as His Excellency, you could be charged with treason in some countries. A friend of mine went to South Korea and he said he was amazed. He was a PhD holder and he had gone on these typical visits that Africans are fond of doing, called benchmarking. So he went there into a polytechnic and was talking to a young South Korean who was in an agricultural institute, and he produced a little equipment that he was working on for purposes of improving agriculture in rural South Korea. And he asked him, "You are PhD, what have you produced? What have you produced? Because you have a PhD in agricultural engineering, what have you produced?" And I'm saying that you who are the intellectuals in the making, you must now begin to ask whether Africa is capable of feeding herself. And there is evidence that Africa is capable of feeding herself. As a young student in the 1980s, before Mugabe and his acolytes messed up Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe was called the bread basket of Southern Africa. Whenever you heard that somebody was going to Harare, the first thing you asked them, "Buy me a shirt," because they had a thriving textile industry. As I speak to you now, there is 90% unemployment in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe has no currency. Zimbabwe is tottering along because we did not allow people with the knowledge to play a critical role in the process of re-energization and reinvigoration of Zimbabwe. One African government minister owns more than his entire village. And the tragedy is that that minister still goes to church on Sunday and says, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, and their will be done on earth." And he is the thief of gigantic proportions, stealing on an industrial scale. I'm submitting to us that the problem of Africa is one of leadership. We have seen in Dubai, in the middle of a desert, each one of us who is a middle class here will have gone to Dubai, or your dream is that you go to Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Doha in Qatar. When you are leaving Windhoek to go to Europe and other places, you will take Qatar Airline, Etihad Airline, or the Emirates. These little Arab countries that have emerged, why are they doing so well? Leadership. It all falls on and rises on leadership.
And some in the guano, and some no, and a papano. Eddie guano, but what kind ya na a yam there was it in the Africa, a bit me a feeding one. like Africa as a continent, you bet me a video. Yes, it's true. Say ye tenase I didn't say guna kwema Africa bet me a feeding on. But sometimes neanam bisama you agriculture engineer for away you more professor, doctor, professor. No quadre wo. Infudu another infudu. But yes, though, and a champion, I was a champion, a server as merchant. You cry, I Greek, and you say champion, a server as merchant, a very soft order, the dead. And now, yeah, you go school, you see, and fertilizer, near the fertilizer. Say, a champion, I referee system, say, a strength, and now, you see, my minimum near papa. You call from Pani, my many pay chassis. And you may see scanning. And a champion free move. Agriculture for doctor for. Must see him fertilizer and we food, so you're not by us when then yakes, you know. By any outdoor champion the free. Fertilizer, no, outdoor champion the free. Sometimes, because of bread, some people are refused to tell the truth, especially our religious leaders. They be America, Africa, and in a religion and education. Because we could be we name as a Maya and a can as a Yansasem in Yamisem. Yansasem in Yamisem. We should stop these religion issues and focus on what we have. They be depending on people. They be dependent on people, Africa. Because I just dependent, you hear favor, you hear moi. Why are we, the sons and daughters of Africa, sit beside rock and beg for food? Continent is very rich. And then Africa has so. Sebi. Toilet kuregu amema if you feel me about nice land in Africa, but here we are being full. Bob Marley once said that them belly full, but they are still hungry. They hear and say BBS now. Wow. Mutie Lumumba Okasembi. Was it say politicians and a minister be a quite saw them your man front seat. No, what can I say? While brother members know that this man and this minister is the devil incarnate, and I saw him penny for now they know, but because of what they will eat, a piano can be dingy, or one can correct near my platform can see it was a Jimmy was a such a congregation. Devil only know when you know such a congregation. So what do you expect? What do you expect? So our mentality, no, yes. Ma, you know who be politicians and religious leaders, they are the same. Difference being politicians, they are religious leaders intimate commenting, especially the Christianity and then the Islamic religion. So sorry penny for the year then intimate commenting. Intimate commenting. One hand wash the other. One hand wash the other. 20 minutes commenting. Because the maybe be draw bear campaign with young religious leader. No, I'm an abuano. Now, a maybe be bar religious leader being here government in a so ontology. Here we are, as an Africans, the living legends, the living legends, you will be saying a bit me. I survive with street. The yɛde obi biara ase sɛ wotie GH guy comment to aseɛ na share